Beam-powered propulsion. Beam-powered propulsion, also known as directed energy propulsion, is a class of aircraft or spacecraft propulsion that uses energy beamed to the spacecraft from a remote power plant to provide energy. The beam is typically either a microwave or a laser beam, and it is either pulsed or continuous. A continuous beam lends itself to thermal rockets, photonic thrusters, and light sails, whereas a pulse beam lends itself to ablative thrusters and pulse detonation engines. Laser propulsion. Laser propulsion is a form of beam-powered propulsion, where the energy source is a remote, usually ground-based laser system and separate from the reaction mass. This form of propulsion differs from a conventional chemical rocket where both energy and reaction mass come from the solid or liquid propellants carried on board the vehicle. History. The basic concepts underlying a photon-propelled sail propulsion system were developed by Eugene Sanger and the Hungarian physicist György Marx. Propulsion concepts using laser-energized rockets were developed in the 1970s by Arthur Kentrowitz and Wolfgang Moeckel, with a variant using laser ablation pioneered by Lech Mirabeau. An exposition of Kentrowitz's laser propulsion ideas was published in 1988. Laser propulsion systems may transfer momentum to a spacecraft in two different ways. The first way uses photon radiation pressure to drive momentum transfer, and is the principle behind solar sails and laser sails. The second method uses the laser to help expel mass from the spacecraft as in a conventional rocket. Thus, the first uses the laser for both energy and reaction mass, while the second uses the laser for energy, but carries reaction mass. Thus, the second is fundamentally limited in final spacecraft velocities by the rocket equation. The light craft. The light craft is a space or air vehicle driven by beam-powered propulsion, and the energy source powering the craft being external. It was first conceptualized by aerospace engineering professor Lech Mirabeau at the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in 1976. He developed the concept further with working prototypes, funded in the 1980s by the Strategic Defense Initiative Organization, and the decade after by the Advanced Concept Division of the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratories, NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, and the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory.
Okay, turbo fans are up.
Rather than look for ET on Earth, scientists at NASA are firmly focused on a search elsewhere. If it works, Dr. Lech Mirabeau's experiment with pulsed laser propulsion may be the method that puts spacecraft of the future far beyond the pull of Earth's gravity. It's part of an adventurous NASA program that's pushing hard at the boundaries of science.
In 2008, the Office of Scientific and Technical Information of the U.S. Department of Energy published an article on the official website, in which its author William Larson talks about successfully completed research in this area. After Lech Mirabeau's retirement from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in 2011, the homepage of his private company Lightcraft Technologies, Inc. disappeared with a temporary notification explaining that a site renovation was ongoing. The old LTI logo and the small-scale model of the laser Lightcraft prototype of the 1990s were swapped for the occasion with a new logo and an artist image showing a full-scale lenticular, microwave-powered Lightcraft with active peripheral MHD slipstream accelerators in orbit above the Earth. This plasma thruster image is shown on the cover of Mirabeau's book about the Lightcraft.